A couple of months ago there was this trailer of a new horror game roaming around the internet. It was called Zoochosis. The premise was very interesting. It puts us in the place of a security guard, a zookeeper to be more specific, and this time we're not spending 5 nights at this hellhole. There is an alien parasite a la John Carpenter The Thing. Our job is to take care of the animals and to avoid the thing of spreading further. The trailers were very cool, and I know, these things are very misleading. I was kind of looking forward to this game and to see what had in store to tell us. And guess what? The game is finally here, and let's be honest, this is a bit of a mess. The story is, to put it mildly, all over the place. As I said, this nightmare starts with a job interview. The protagonist, named Paul, signs a sketchy contract from a very odd contractor as a zookeeper. As soon as we sign it, our employer injects us with some strange substance, and then fills us in with the details. At first glance, it looks like a simple job, feeding the animals, checking their body temperature, checking their inner soundings, I guess, cleaning up their dumps, the usual. After the introduction, the manager leaves us, and Paul gets to tell his wife why was he locked in for the night. Their family were struggling financially, so it was pretty understandable why he had to accept this job. It's stated that they make him sign an NDA, so there wasn't much he could do about this. Although I'm pretty sure that legally an NDA does not cover up crimes, but what do I know? While getting the food for the animals, Paul receives a call from a woman asking for her husband. She says he's supposed to be on the laboratories and only wanted to make sure that he took his medication. His name was CJ Summers. Soon enough, Paul discovers that the meat they were feeding the animals was in fact human flesh. He discovers this when he finds out that a naked woman was in line for the meat grinder and that she was pretty much alive. And here I ask, why would the doctor do this? I mean, they're clearly committing a crime here, so was he that sure that the new guy they contracted wouldn't feel even a bit troubled by the fact that they were making food out of human flesh? The doctor assures him that he didn't have to worry about this. They got the mother of these things under control, supposedly. Also, he infected Paul with one of the parasites. The only reason why the animals weren't attacking him was because they saw him as one of them, since he was infected by the parasite. And he would take care of the creature by tomorrow morning. That doesn't sound concerning at all. Now, the gameplay part is underwhelming to say the least. In the trailer, we are shown the animals transforming in real time. It looked like a survival horror where if you let more than one parasite infect too many animals, all hell would break loose. Let's take a closer look at the mutations. The zebra gets all disjointed and some kind of tendrils sprout out from his back. It also seems like most of his vertebrae are gone. Also, as I said, his ass became his mouth. The penguin looks the most complete of the bunch. His beak gains a middle separation, filled with sharp teeth, and its flippers turn into some demonic bat thing. Now with the wallaby. The thing gains teeth, a lot of teeth, and its upper limbs elongate to reach the floor. And aside of the demonic look of its face, he also gains a mouth in its stomach. Since marsupials have a back on their stomach, its back turns into a mouth. Although it would be cooler if its mandible were all disjointed and teethless and the only working set of teeth were the one of its stomach. Speaking of a disjointed mouth, the giraffe's teeth get all sharp and its usual long tongue is now in full display. Also, I don't know what the hell the parasite do to its limbs, but the giraffe's limbs look now like one of a spider. 10 out of 10 design, by far the best of the game. The moose gains a ton more bulk and it gets rid of its skin. And now it has magical powers for one reason. That's how the thing hypnotizes other mooses to get a bite of them. I'm pretty sure that the general idea is one of a skinwalker, obviously. The hippo goes all crazy in its mouth. Hippo's teeth are very frightening in real life, one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom if I'm not mistaken, and its rear back is full with disgusting tumors. I love how the fleshy claw looks, which this giant uses to catch its prey and devour it. And speaking of giants, we have, of course, the elephant. Its mutations are very simple to be honest. It gains more trunks and behaves more like a tentacle. And its tattered ears begin to look like fins. His whole head just looks like Cthulhu. I'm missing some footage of the gorilla's mutation, but I'm pretty sure that you get my point. These designs were very cool, and by the looks of the game, you got the idea that it was some kind of survival horror where you have to hide from these things and use different game mechanics to avoid them and get them back to normal or just kill them. And in the end, the game is just a resource manager. You have to take their temperature, extract their blood, feed them with the right portions of food, I guess? The parasites only appear when you get out of the habitat. When you come back to take a look, one of them would be mutated and you have to put them down. And how do you deal with the mutated animals, you may ask? You just overload them with tranquilizers and eventually they fall asleep. And the jumpscares are very underwhelming to say the least. Not to mention the movement of the animals is very clunky. But then again, these things were not designed for a survival horror. And for some reason, the zebra who looks like this, just come on, his neck is all broken and disjointed and the parasite turned his ass into a mouth? I mean, that's very cool, not gonna lie, but the zebra is dead, dude. And also, the premise of the game is save the animals, but it doesn't really make much difference if you let them die. You just have to put down the mutated ones, you don't have to worry about the others, okay, I guess. Well, back to the story. The game has several endings, the only differences are if you take certain decisions here and there. In most of them, the parasite inside Paul is completely mutated and the doctor feds us to the mother. Then again, most endings are variations of this one. But if we instead choose to take the lady out of the meat grinder, she turns out to be a journalist investigating the case of this lab. Then, using the mutilated hand of CJ Summers, who unsurprisingly was killed for knowing too much, we get to the secret lab that, not gonna lie, taking into consideration the budget that this zoo probably has and how it's probably cutting corners all over the place, this is very realistic for a secret lab. Also, here they are, the diplomas of the doctor, but anyways, depending on what we do here, we unlock one or other ending, but in the true ending, Paul makes a poison to get rid of the mother with the help of the journalist, and we will eventually get a cutscene in which Paul comes back to the main hall and the doctor will be ready to feed him to the mother. Now, while he was distracted, the girl injects him with a poison, baiting the mother into taking him instead. Also here it's assumed that the poison works, since shortly after Paul pukes out the parasite, severing the connection with the creature. With all of this and with enough evidence, the journalist on Paul calls the authorities and thus the game ends. No, I'm not oversimplifying this, the game is that short. And don't get me started with the voice acting. And I want to make this clear, I have nothing against the voice actors, very sure that they did the best, case that these are real voice actors and not just some AI that by this point I'm not very sure about this to be honest. But the devs and the people behind this supervising the project had to have a bit more of quality control, you know? But anyways, it's a shame what happened to this game. It looks very promising and I was looking forward to make a lore video about it, talking about its story, the mutations, the animals, the creatures, their behavior, but this is what we ended up with. Whatever. Well, anyways, now I want to read your opinion. Tell me in the comments down below what did you think about the game, what were your if you also were looking towards it or what were your expectations. I'll be reading you all. And also remember to leave a like and subscribe, that really helps me and the channel. But anyways, thank you for watching and I'll see you all next time.